Hello, everyone. My name is Diego Paricio, and today I'm going to talk about Buddhism and abortion. And I'm going to break it down to several parts. In the first part, I'm going to talk about the Buddhist perspective on abortion, and then I'm going to compare it to, and then I'm going to continue. I'm going to follow it up with the Buddhist perspective on abortion as well. And after that, I'm going to compare it to and contrast it to modern liberal views and also other religious views like Christianity and see how they relate or are they similar. And after that, I'll talk about the eugenics program that began in the early 20th century and that movement. And I'll conclude it with possible consequences according to, not consequences, but a possible effect that abortion can have from a Buddhist perspective on the person. So, what's the Buddhist perspective on abortion? And so Buddhists believe that not human lives are cyclical. So it's a continuous cycle. It doesn't just stop right after you die. You could uh, be reincarnated into another realms, whether in the demon world or in the human world or in the demigod world. But as far as when does human lives begin to exist, it occurs at a conception or sexual intercourse. And that's when usually when most Buddhists agree that human beings begin to exist sometime around uh, when two people mutually agree and they perform sexual intercourse. Um, and so Buddhists follow a strict moral conduct as well. And all of it derives from the Buddhist teachings and the ideology. And one of the strict moral conduct that they follow is they shouldn't kill any type of life form, no matter if it's like a small ant, a fly, um, an injured animal. So this also applies to human lives. So no matter if I believe if the child is sick or if it has like a effect on the mom maybe during birth, uh, they wouldn't. Most Buddhists would not support the abortion process because it would be taking away a life, a human life, not just a human life, but a life form in general. And that's one of their strict rules that they they follow. Buddhists also have, for those that are monks, they have strict monastic rules, and those rules dictate that no monk that's practicing the Buddhist faith should ever uh, take part of an abortion process because that will go against the strict rules that they have applied to become monks. And not only will be going against the moral conduct and code, it's also illegal for monks to be performing or taking a part of abortion or assisting someone else to perform the abortion. If they do manage to perform this abortion, or help in any case, they can be kicked out, or I think they are kicked out from the monk community. And these monastic rules were laid out thousands of years ago from from since the Buddha founded this ideology, and this shows a clear uh, commitment that Buddhists have or their ideology against abortion. uh, I don't believe no Buddhists or there's no vocal majority of Buddhists that would favor an abortion law or any abortion law that would loosen or allow or facilitate the process of committing abortion in any country. So, what are ancient beliefs about abortion? More specifically, what did the Buddha believe about abortion? Well, and the Buddha, since he found out, since he Buddhism comes from Buddha, and his followers commit to follow his ideology, they would share a similar fate. I mean, a similar perspective. And the Buddha believed that life started at conception as well. And furthermore, he also laid out that no human being should ever take away a life that they shouldn't take away, or they don't have a right to take away a life, regardless if it's a human life, insect life, animal life, plant life. This is what Buddhists believe in general. And that comes from the Buddha, which he laid out uh, when he lived. And furthermore, the Buddha, I'm pretty sure if he were alive today, he wouldn't support any type of abortion, as it will go against his core belief that no Buddhist or monk should take away a life. And this also, since since the Buddha believed that life started during conception, he would be against uh, assisting a woman or helping out or creating a law that would make abortion easier. And uh, and this is why largely why a lot of monks also believe that abortion is wrong, because their ideology derives from the Buddha, and the Buddha laid out these laws and uh, these beliefs. And as you know, the Buddha had a strong, he was disciplined and he was wise. So his followers sought to be like him. So what do modern Buddhists believe nowadays? You know, with technology, there was a Buddhist that I was researching. I can't remember his name, but he stated that with technology nowadays and medicine advancing, it's far more easier thousands of years ago, or even hundreds of years ago, to perform an abortion. And even if a person doesn't want to perform abortion, they're more tempted, or it's easier to fall into that path. Um, uh, Furthermore, it's easier why he understands why a person, or with circumstances, if a woman, uh, if the husband or the boyfriend leaves them alone, they're not really financially sound, they really don't have any other options, and if the option's right there, then they're more likely to take it, since uh, it would be more beneficial for the woman to perform the abortion for, if she has a baby, she'll be stressed out for taking care of it. Financially, she won't be able to support it if she was prepared financially. Uh, and but regardless of these circumstances, modern Buddhists, like their predecessors, uh, they believe that we have the power to shape our own actions. So free will, uh, and any volitional action, your own action, that you're in control of your own life, uh, is affects what we do, and that's why they strive to uh, prevent themselves from ever being in that situation where they have to commit an abortion. And that's one of the reasons why they stray away from, a lot of monks stray away from engaging into any type of sexual intercourse, and also believe in cause and effect. So any action can lead to another effect, and that action can lead to another effect. So if a Buddhist is not being as disciplined as his peers, and he decides to break away uh, from his studies or his ideology, and he gets a woman pregnant, This can lead him to the circumstance that he was trying to prevent from the beginning, and that uh, also relates back to, we have our own power to shape our own actions. So that's why Buddhists are always thinking in their minds that rather than prevent themselves from being in that position in the first place, excuse me, that's why Buddhists believe that since we have the power to shape our own futures and our own actions from our own free will, why not behave in a certain way that would prevent yourself from setting yourself up for more problems? Choose the path that would not lead you astray and create more problems for yourself, kind of like a domino effect. And also, Buddhists believes that good actions produce good results. So if they stay like on the right path, disciplined, strict to the moral code, they're more likely to produce good results and not bad results, such as like an unwanted pregnancy or an abortion that they want to commit, since it pertains to their code from taking away a life. So in the modern world, there's, as it's becoming more and more and more liberal, there's more likelihood of abortion being allowed, specifically in Western oriented countries. Um, but a modern Buddhist, uh, what do they believe as far as modern abortion goes? And it's still the same. I think while some are sympathetic of, as Bruce stated, the circumstances that could lead to a person, a woman, from committing an abortion or choosing to commit an abortion, they still believe that no human being should take away a life, since no matter how insignificant, excuse me, now no matter how small uh, a life form can be, no human being should take away their life because it's not their right to do so. So, as far as special cases goes, what if the abortion is putting in danger the woman's health? What if it would be a better option to uh, to perform the abortion? Um, and I think that's where a lot of Buddhists, they believe that it's a hard scenario to critique, since it could, if a woman performs an abortion, it could save her life at the expense of taking away another life from their point of view. Uh, but as previously stated, I a lot of Buddhists, they in Buddhism, they believe that abortion not only is it immoral, but it's, while they don't specifically have a law that states against it, their ideology all points to them being against it, and from being and from preventing themselves from ever putting themselves in that specific situation where they have to commit abortion. Now, as far as a secular viewpoint and non-religious view, it's more lax. So if they have if a woman, or even if a woman wants to perform an abortion, uh, they're allowed, since it's affecting their health, and or not even their health, not even the physical health or the mental health. Uh, as the baby can't prevent themselves from uh, perhaps con- continue going to like a certain college, or maintain their concentration, since they maintain their concentration on a specific task, since now they have a baby, they have to spend all the time on the child, So from a secular viewpoint, they're a lot more lenient as far as abortion goes, and it's the rights to take away the rights to perform abortion is given more to the woman. It's more or it's more the woman's choice to perform the abortion. So as far as Christianity goes, it has a similar uh, view with abortion as Buddhism. Where it differs is, obviously, life is not cyclical. There's no reincarnation. But as far as abortion, most Christians and Christianity in general, they um, even in the since its inception till now, more Christianity is tending to become more liberal. There's more churches that are starting to be more open-minded about these sort of things. But in general, Christianity, they are against abortion since they believe that life starts at human beings have a soul, and from the beginning, uh, I don't no man or a woman should have the right to take away of life that they have no right to. Uh, it's and you can see this in more conservative states, which I will talk about in future slides. That they have a that China has a lot of influence on these states that are predominantly red states or Republican states. They have really strict abortion laws, and even if they do permit uh, certain abortion practices, it's very strict compared to uh, uh, a less uh, Christianity influenced state, um, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So there's, for the most part, in the United States, there's a conservative and a liberal point of view of abortion compared to Buddhism. The conservative, also, as the names relate to the word, they're trying to conserve life. In their viewpoint, no matter, for the most part, no matter how the circumstance of the woman, uh, they they should have no right to take away, uh, the fetus life or perform an abortion that will result in uh, her terminating her pregnancy. And these are in this map right here, you can see the demographics. Not excuse me, the demographics, but you can see how I think these are the counties. Obviously, the red are more conservative, and the blue is there's like more liberal counties. Uh, the South is uh, more conservative, and but as you go in, as in more cities, because it's more diverse. Uh, there's different kinds of people. It's not as um, it's more urban. They have more of a liberal point of view, which is they support abortion, and they are more lax, and there are more practices that facilitate the woman from for committing and support the woman for committing abortion. Um, it's but compared to conservative counties where it's more rural areas. Uh, it has uh, a more strict abortion laws on it, and you could say that conservative viewpoints align more with Buddhists as far as they want to prevent life from being taken away, um, and as you go and for the cities, as mentioned before, because there's a more diverse idea of ideas being exchanged. they're more likely to support the woman's choice rather than the state from dictating whether or not abortion laws should exist. And I'm gonna use an example of another country that leans more conservative, like the United States, when it comes to abortion laws. And this in an image right here, it's Nayib Bukele, which is the current president of the United States. And I think a year ago, he was in an interview and he was asked by a prominent celebrity whether he supports abortion or not. And he specifically said that, no matter what the circumstances, um, and no matter the situation, he would always be against abortion since he believes in life and he believes in conserving life and protecting the child from for preventing an early pregnancy termination. And El Salvador actually has one of the most strictest laws in the world when it comes to abortion. I believe a couple of 10, 20 years ago, uh, there was a woman who got jailed 40 years for committing abortion in El Salvador. If a woman commits abortion, they're sentenced to decades to prison time, and it's counted as a homicide. So El Salvador, uh, they are very conservative for their views on abortion, and they're actually pretty strict on it, as you can see by the years of sentencing. Um, and their views are more likely to align with those conservative views found in the United States, since they're severely punishing the woman for committing an abortion, and they are wanting to preserve life at the expense um, of the woman, as seen by these strict laws that El Salvador has in place. So I'm going to talk about eugenics, and eugenics is basically the practice of wanting to produce or maintain the best genes possible. Uh, so this was a poster, I believe, in the early 20th century in Germany, and it stated, and it's a rough translation, but the poster was telling is German citizens that if you if you don't want to have bad genes or a bad offspring, then you're more than welcome to come to this hospital to perform uh, an abortion. And eugenics was a movement that really took off, and it was part of the ideology that was gaining popularity in the early 20th century. And if there was a chance that a child was going to come out with a defect or it was going to have problems, they were more likely to be aborted because they wanted the best possible, the best uh, looking, the strongest, the most intelligent, the fittest offspring available. And uh, obviously, this is an extreme view of taking away life, since eugenics supports biologically the best human beings possible at the expense of life. And uh, obviously, nowadays, eugenics is a movement that's looked down upon, since it's encouraged that no matter how you look or your physical uh, disabilities or mental disabilities, is encouraged for you to live. But uh, But eugenics will be a movement that would strongly support abortion, since they didn't want any weak or defective offspring. So we're going to talk about karma, which is in the image above. It represents one of the realms. I believe this is the human realm, and karma. One of the main themes of karma is if you commit good actions, good results are produced. If you commit bad actions, bad results are produced. It and Buddhists strongly adhere to, and they concentrate well uh, to to have good karma, since actually stated every action that you do, depending on your behavior, can can have good karma or it can have bad karma. And how does this pertain to abortion? Um, well, if you look at it from a I guess logical or perspective, if a person kills, then there are karma. They're more likely to receive uh, bad karma. If a person preserves life, they're more likely to receive good karma, since they are, not only are they conserving life, but they are preventing themselves from killing, which is one of the uh, biggest uh, things that Buddhists are against, killing from any type of life form. And karma also has, as Rudy said, has consequences. So if you commit a bad action, in this instance, abortion, it could have negative consequences. For instance, if a monk one day decided to facilitate or assist a person uh, with abortion, or if they decided to help with any type of method that will facilitate abortion, they could have bad karma that derived from uh, taking this sort of action. Um, it's and in the human realm, as we know, like karma can affect any type of action. So not just no matter how big or small, karma uh, can derive from any type of behaviors. Now, as far as special circumstances goes, that's one of the issues that a lot of people have. Like, what if there's no option? What if the person or individual that is performing this abortion has to do it to save their own life? Will they receive bad karma for taking away a life at the expense of saving their own? Or uh, I guess the most a way to view it is if they do perish from due to health concerns, if they decide not to abort the child and the individual dies along with the child, since Buddhists believe in a cyclical lifestyle. It's not linear, it's cyclical, because of the good karma from conserving that life form and not 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 being committed to killing another life that they didn't want to kill. They could be reborn, and because of that good karma, they could be reborn in a demon gone world, or they could be reborn as in a good situation because they had good karma from that action. So in conclusion, I'll just summarize uh, all the points that I talked about from the beginning to the end. So what are the effects on abortion? on a person. So I would imagine that a person will obviously have a hard time taking away, because nobody wakes up in the morning and decides, oh, okay, I want to take away a life. Nobody does that. But if they're put in a certain situation that they have to commit, uh, or take away a life that they shouldn't have, it's it all depends on their situation, and how mentally stable they'll be afterwards. Um, I guess each person will be different, and uh, so it'll be a difficult decision to critique. And from a Buddhist perspective, you can, as previously stated before, abortion, it's one of the actions that they would be against it, even though they have no laws that state that they are. Other ideology, as far as preventing a life from being taken, killing a life form that, no matter if it's human being or not, it's abortion is not an action that Buddhists would support, nor would they facilitate. Now, are there any pros to committed abortion for an individual? I don't think. I think the only pros will be if their life is in danger, and they manage to save themselves at the expense of a child. But then again, I guess it depends on the situation. Like each person, uh, you know, a person can look from the outside and critique, but nobody truly knows if that person situation that had to commit abortion, if they had to do it because of financial reasons, or of, if they had no help or no support. I guess that would be the only one of the few pros from committing abortion. But as far as morally go, moral views, I think it would affect the morality for a while, since if that person believes that life started at conception, and uh, they would feel like they took away a life that they shouldn't have. But again, as previously stated, I think, you know I think Buddhism uh, could allow or could allow that person from realizing that, well, there's there's other paths they could have taken, and but Buddhism can also uh, help that person sort out their mentality and work it out and become more mentally stable. And these are my sources.